A very good morning from the Drayton Manor Resort, where I've come down here for the first time in 2024 to check out all those park updates for the 2024 season, including a brand new area. Yeah, Frontier Falls, really looking forward to seeing that. We're also going to head over and take a look at the new theming surrounding the wave, see if we can see the new train on there as well, and maybe catch it testing if we're lucky. And of course, we'll bring you the latest construction updates on that new Intamin Family Launch coaster. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been down to Drayton Manor, actually about 9 months. It was July when we last came here for the Summer Nights event, which unfortunately didn't happen. Check that vlog out if you've not already seen it. So looking forward to getting back into the park today and checking out all of those updates. Now, if you want to come down to the resort to check it out for yourself, prices start in advance online at £29.50 and it's £6 to park your car here. So yeah, it's good to see that there's been no increase in those parking charges from the 2023 season. Let's head on in and get started then. Park hours for today, 10:30 through until 5 o'clock. And I thought I'd start my day then here in Adventure Cove. Yeah, let's head on in and then we can work our way through to the wave and we can check out any updates that we might be able to spot. Maelstrom there just loading up the 2002 Intamin Gyro Swing. Absolutely fantastic ride, this one. Love all the theming around it as well. Looks really, really cool. I love these bent lights. All the destroyed ships and the boxes here. Yeah, it's great. Absolutely fantastic ride, this one. Probably one of the best flat rides in the country. Although if I'm being honest, I do prefer Cyclonator at Portons Park, but only just. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, all this theming here on the ops cabin looks great with the big diver's helmet here and the surfboards. It really does look fantastic. As we move further into Adventure Cove then, we've of course got the Zero Wave Swinger right in front of us here. This entire area opened back in 2021. And that was actually the new ride for the area, the Zero Wave Swinger. Again, all the nice theming around with the surfboards and the shells down here. All looks really, really nice. And you've got the play area Tidal Towers just off to the right there as well. And this entire area, I say it every vlog, was home to a very unique coaster here at Drayton Manor called G-Force. It was a Maurer coaster featuring the X-Cars, which you don't see very often now. As a matter of fact, if you still want to ride G-Force, you can get yourself over to Iraq. They have a clone of it over there. It was a very unique coaster actually. Featured a bent Cubanate inversion. There's only one of those in the world now, in that one over at Iraq. And also an inversion lift hill. Really unique coaster, quite uncomfortable, but it was fantastic. I do kind of wish it was still here. I do miss it. Great ride, that. Of course, got the 2014 Zamperla Air Race just in front of us as well. This actually replaced Black Revolver back in the day, which was an old waltzer attraction. Anyone remember that? That's going back some time. Do love a good Zamperla Air Race. And a little bit of off-ride footage there then of the 2014 Zamperla Air Race here in Adventure Cove. Yeah, absolutely fantastic rides those. Really, really great fun as we head now down towards the wave. Yeah, used to be Shockwave, opened back in 1994, this one, the year of the coasters here in the UK, although arguably that is now changed to 2024 with all the fantastic new openings that we've had this year. However, from what I can see, can't see any sign of the new train yet. It's obviously in the station somewhere. Nothing testing as of yet. Hopefully we'll see something a little bit later on. But I thought I'd come down here anyway and check out the theming. Of course, this opened back in 1994 as Shockwave, manufactured by Intamin. And all of this was redone in 2021 when Adventure Cove became a thing, and it all still looks really, really great around here. But look, we got some new bits of theming here. The Wave. Now, I gotta be honest, when I first saw this, what immediately came to mind was Cadbury's Flake. It's pretty much exactly the same color scheme, and even the kind of shape of this here kind of reminds me of the Cadbury's Flake. Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame to see the signage is a little bit worn here already. Hopefully that gets a little bit of a repaint before the official opening of the ride. But yeah, this all looks really nice actually. I like this kind of entrance portal, all really colourful and vibrant here. Got the entrance sign here with the new surfboard on there. Nice little photo opportunity here as well. In terms of the rest of the station though, all these colours kind of remain the same. I will say though that I do hope this track gets at least a good pressure wash. It is looking pretty bad in certain areas. A nice repaint would be just the thing. Adventure Cove River Rapids just through there as well. Yeah, like particularly around here. I'm sure all this will get done, but yeah, it is looking a little bit grotty. But yeah, the decision was made to remove this as a stand-up coaster and bring in new sit-down trains, which has meant that the height requirement for this one has dropped from 1.4 down to 1.2 meters, which obviously in kind of the direction the park is going, that's kind of the decision that they took. They want it less of a thrill park now, you know, and a park that's kind of accessible to a lot more ages, and that's great to see. However, I will still say, I don't know, I'm not sure I fully agree with it. I mean, you had such a unique coaster here. The only stand-up coaster in the UK, actually only one of two in the entirety of Europe, and the only one in the world with a 0G roll here. So you had a really unique coaster, and I don't know, we get to see how it will ride as a sit-down coaster. But I always did say in previous vlogs that as a sit-down I would find the layout a little bit boring, but you know, we'll see. I'll hold off that until I've actually had a chance to ride it, which brings me to the opening date. Now, as at time of filming, the park still hasn't released any kind of opening date for this. No mention of when that will be. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. This ride has been scene testing, but like I say, I think there's just a few touch-ups that need to be done before it is officially opened. A couple of weeks ago, the train was sat on the lift hill here. Train manufactured by Art Engineering. So yeah, a little bit different. Didn't get Intamin in for the train. And they feature just a lap bar restraint. So in terms of the ride itself, even though it is a 1.2 meter height restriction, which is quite low, it's still a pretty thrilling coaster. You've got 4 inversions here. You've got the vertical loop into that 0G roll, and then a double corkscrew just around here. So yeah, in terms of thrills, it's going to be one of the best family thrill coasters in the country. Really looking forward to getting on this, just to see how it rides. And yeah, hopefully, like I say, they give this a nice repaint, or at least a pressure wash. Some of the support's looking pretty bad here as well. But I do think it should be a good ride. I'm looking forward to testing it out. I got a feeling it's got to be the next couple of weeks this will be open. Love the new billboard back here as well. Nice little near-miss element. I was kind of hoping that there was going to be a bit more theming on this straight section here. Maybe something will go in place. It doesn't look as though anything will. Although they have done some tree chopping down here, so maybe something will go in here. I'm not really sure. It's all speculation at the moment. I figured if something was going to go in, it would have gone in by now, considering the opening date of this can't be far away. But yeah, we'll come back down as soon as the opening date is announced, and we'll see just how this rides. The Wave, Cadbury Flake Coaster. And also here in Adventure Cove, you have Storm Force 10 Ride It Out, the 1999 log flume. And yeah, it is a soaker, this one. 9 out of 10 soakage. 3 drops on this one, one of them backwards, and that's the one that really gets you. And the bad thing is that all this water here is all kind of recycled from the lake out here, so it's really not the cleanest. It's a great ride though for the summer, if you don't mind getting wet. And I've just come into the Surf Shack now then here in Adventure Cove just to check out any new merchandise that might be around for 2024. And unfortunately there's really not that much. Yeah, Drayton Manor's never really been somewhere that sells really kind of high quality merch, which is a little bit disappointing. I would like to see that change in the near future. Yeah, you've got some of your standard kind of Drayton Manor branding here, the 1950, which is quite nice. I do like the Drayton Manor Bear though, £29.99 for him, he's pretty cool. Yeah, you got your water bottles and stuff in here as well. I've got some nice retro magnets here as well though, featuring G-Force, Apocalypse and Pandemonium. Yeah, they're quite nice. And in terms of the Surf Shack then over at Adventure Cove, yeah, it's a little bit disappointing really with the merch here. It's been like that at Drayton Manor for a while now. Kind of pretty low quality merchandise really, and not much new for 2024. Like I said back in there, it is something I would like to see change in the future. You know, get some specific ride merch in, some more embroidered stuff. That would be really, really nice. They've also taken out a lot of what they used to sell in there, which was all the old ride parts. That was really interesting, kind of made the shop quite unique. They actually used to sell the gondolas in there from back in the day when this used to have the cable cars. Yeah, a couple of those were sold in there. However, that's all been removed now as well. Yeah, in terms of merchandise, not the best here at the park, and like I say, it is something I would like to see improve. And just coming out of Adventure Cove now then, and to the right here we have the Bounty, the 2007 pirate ship. Really well themed, this one, with all the cannons and the treasure chests, the skulls here. The boat itself is really nice as well. But yeah, all the queue-line theming is really well done. You got the lanterns there, exit sign with the skull and crossbones, all these bones along here as well. All looks really, really nice. And the entrance signage at the top there as well, which looks really cool. And it's a great ride, that, and set over water as well, which really does make it. Yeah, I love all this theming here, all the cannonballs, big barrels. I gotta say, the lake could certainly do with a bit of a clean though, right? Yeah, that's not looking the best. But the ride itself though, absolutely awesome. And some off-ride footage there then of both the Bounty and the Jolly Buccaneer. And who remembers when Pirate Adventure used to be here in this area of the park? Yeah, it used to be the entrance to it just here. You can still see some of the signage up here as well, although it's all kind of gradually being taken over by these trees and bushes here. It's like it's eating the sign. Yeah, it was a great dark ride there. It's very, very kind of Pirates themed, inspired really by Pirates of the Caribbean. It ran from 1990 through until 2015, and it is a ride that I would love to see come back. It was a great ride. I believe much of the ride system is still in place inside this building here, but I know the boats and those from Excalibur as well were being held over in the storage area at the hotel. Not quite sure if that is still the case now or whether they have since been moved. Dodgems ahoy! Just to the right of that, little Dodgems ride. Let's take a look. And a little bit of off-ride footage there then of Dodgems ahoy as we make our way down to Drayton Manor's newest themed area, Frontier Falls. Yeah, and it kind of starts around here as well. If you look off to the left here, you got all kind of the wood going in place here in the little cafe where you can get some bubble waffles, donuts, ice creams, hot dogs, and also hook-a-duck as well. It's kind of spread into that as well. Look at this. All the kind of wooden effect across the top. He's nice. I might try and win him maybe a little bit later. But yeah, here we go into Frontier Falls, and yeah, look at this. This looks so much better. Rory's Souvenirs there. You got Sugar Rush, the candy shop just off down there to the right. Livery stable, horses shod, Wagon to rent. And this signage here, yeah, look at this. This looks great. Frontier Falls, Drayton Manor, 1850. Here you got all the signage out here for the rides that you'll find in this area as well. The Haunting, blasting barrels now, no longer drunken barrels. And of course, Sheriff Showdown is still here as well. You got the barrels here. Welcome to Frontier Falls. Dynamite, some gold. That'll be in the back of the car before I leave today. And look at this, Falls Theatre now. Yeah, featuring Looney Tunes, 4D, starring Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. And I gotta say, it's about time. I mean, this used to have Thomas 4D bubbling boilers being shown, and that had run its course, so it's nice to see a replacement for this. And Looney Tunes, much more my era. Do love Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, one of my favorite cartoons growing up as a kid. Yeah, this all looks really nice. Falls Theatre, Drayton Picture House, 1850. Love the color scheme around here, really does look nice. Yeah, looks great. Yeah, look at this. Wild Bill's Hotel and Saloon. All the saloon going across here. All looks really, really nice. On the balcony across here as well. Doesn't look as though that's accessible in any way. But yeah, I think there's some potential talent that could be had across here. I don't know. Certainly see some kind of show going on there perhaps. But it doesn't look as though it's actually accessible in any way. Unless you can maybe get across. No, I don't think it is. It doesn't look accessible unless you've got a ladder. But yeah, love all this. This is all really nice. Places to hook up your horse here, whatever they're called. You got the bank, Miners Exchange Bank. Sheriff's here as well, with his attached jail. Like all kind of the bullet holes around here as well. Nice little touch. Oh yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. I do like the jail here. Drayton Manor Jail. Anybody in here? No, looks empty for today. Well, I gotta say, in terms of jails, this is actually one of the nicest ones I've seen. Look at this. Yeah, it's like my garden shed, only on a much grander scale. Yeah, really nice. Hey, it's a nice little photo op, this. And obviously, of course, as well, with the wet weather we get here in the UK, it offers a nice bit of shelter from that. Just to the left of this, though, we have the gateway to the Haunting. Yes, of course, this is still here, opened back in 1996 as a Vekoma Madhouse. And actually, the original story is back for this season, 2024, The Haunting. Haven't had a ride yet today. Let's make this my first one. And I've just had my first ride of the day then on that 1996 Vekoma Madhouse, The Haunting. And do you know what? I still really like that ride. It's the two pre-shows before the ride itself that really do kind of make it. And yeah, it's great to see that original story back for 2024. The ride itself, just a standard Vekoma Madhouse. The soundtrack is okay, but what makes it is that very last sequence where the corpse kind of comes out of the coffin. Always makes everybody laugh on that ride. Anyway, that's The Haunting done. Let's grab ourselves a bonus on Sheriff Showdown. And here we are on Sheriff Showdown then, and the high score for today, 49,300. I've got myself a challenge, viewers. Hey, let's get ourselves some bonuses. 49,300, we can do it. We can do it. Oh yeah, they're much better guns than I had last time. When I came here back in July, I had a really bad gun. It wasn't the best at all. Let's get some bonuses. Absolutely love this ride. It's a great dark ride, this. Shoot those cans, hit the cow. Oh, it's still kind of hard to do whilst filming, but I'm going to give it a go. Anything red, just shoot away. Oh, I need my bonus. Come on, where is he? Hey! Oh. I can't see my score. I don't think my screen's working. Oh no. Oh, I don't think we're going to get a bonus. My screen's broke. Guy in the toilet, get him. Yes. This happened the time before last, the screen wasn't working. I never have any luck on this ride. Look at that, it's just blank. Let's hope I get a score of some sort. 49,300 though, that's a pretty big one to beat. I don't think I'm going to get anywhere close to that. Get the old donkey there. Shoot the sign plenty of times. Oh, there's plenty around. Die. Well, no bonuses. I don't know if I was getting the bonuses and it's just not playing the sound effect. And there we are. Let's check out the score. And waited just 5 minutes for my ride on Sheriff Showdown then. A little bit of on-ride POV there where I set a score of 32,200. So yeah, nowhere near that high score, unfortunately. But yeah, back outside the front now then. And as you can see, Sheriff Showdown, which has been here for some time now, didn't actually really need much work done to it at all to fit in with this new Frontier Falls themed area. This all still looked really, really good. So not much has been done at all. Of course, you've got the theming just off to the left here with the cacti and the trees and kind of the little trailer and stuff in there, which all look really good. Anyway, this is starting to look a little bit fresher here as well. I'd like to see a bit more theming go into this kind of area. Maybe some more cacti, some more desert theming would look nice. So yeah, it's kind of looking a little bit bare at the moment. But Sheriff Showdown on the whole looked quite good anyway. But to the right, yeah, a ride that has seen some extensive theming is Drunken Barrels, or what is now known as Blasting Barrels. Yeah, this opened back in 2006, manufactured by Intamin. Who remembers before 2006 though, when a Huss Enterprise used to stand on here? Yes, Cyclone. That actually moved to Thorpe Park and became Zodiac. But yeah, look at this. Danger explosives. All these blasting barrels out the front here. Dynamite, blasting powder. Oh, it's everywhere. And the interior as well, danger explosives. I see they've taken my wife away. Although, with that new kind of family direction the park is taking, she wasn't really that suitable, was she? Let's be honest. But yeah, like all this. No smoking or open fire. Oh, something's just gone off. It's nice to see some smoke effects here as well. And the ride itself, though, ultimately remains the same. But yeah, some theming pieces on the inside as well, the danger explosives, barrels in there. I gotta say, I think they've done quite a good job. It looks quite good. Like the signage at the top there, Blasting Barrels & Co. Drayton manufacturers of black blasting powder for that extra kick. Yeah, I like that. Got the two mules either side there. Looks really, really nice. I think they've done a good job with this one. And yeah, I think overall they have done a fantastic job with the retheme of this area. Frontier Falls is looking pretty fantastic. Love all the facades at the start of the area down here. The entrance signage looks really, really nice as well. Sheriff Showdown, like I say, not too much needed with that ride in terms of kind of the facade and the fascias, and that all looked really good anyway. Blasting Barrels, definitely the highlight here with this new theme facade. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. The haunting, yeah, it does look a little bit out of place now. Maybe we'll see something happen with that at some point in the future, perhaps. Yeah, it does feel a little bit out of place with this area. It's definitely some kind of retheme, even if it's just a subtle one. Definitely needs to be done with that ride. What I would like to see, though, is some themed flooring around here. As we saw in Chessington a couple of vlogs back, it does look really, really nice when you add themed flooring to an area, as we saw in Shipwreck Coast. So I would like to see this kind of redone, as it is looking a little bit drab around here. So yeah, would like to see some themed flooring go into place. But you remember when this used to be the second entrance into the park here? Yeah, back in the day. Obviously our second entrance now is over in the Vikings area. That all used to be just picnic fields, and this was actually where you would come in to the park as a second entrance. You had little cable cars that used to drop you off just kind of down in this area. But of course, the main thing for Frontier Falls is this off to the left here. This is the new family launch coaster manufactured by Intamin, and this obviously replaces where Apocalypse once stood, Pandemonium. They had a little test track ride here as well. That's all been completely flattened in readiness for this new coaster, set to open a little bit later on this year. So maybe when these construction walls come down, maybe we will see something done with the flooring here. Hopefully some more theming will go into place here, maybe a subtle retheme for the haunting, just to kind of fit it into the area a little bit better. But let's take a look and see what we can see on this new roller coaster from Intamin. Right opposite Blasting Barrels, just looking through the gate here. And yeah, as you can see, got a lift hill in the background there, a couple of twisty elements, little airtime hill. And I've got to say, I do like the color. In person, it looks pretty cool. It's the same, or if not, certainly close to the bottom half of Hyperia, which I do quite like. So yeah, the whole coaster is obviously going to be in that color. And yeah, I think it looks pretty sharp, to be honest. Good to see the toilets still standing as well. There are obviously talks that these were going to be completely demolished, but they've just had a little bit of a spruce up and obviously been rethemed into the area. Yeah, like I say, this coaster is going to be opening probably in the next couple of months. It was initially rumored to be spring, but I think we're more likely to be seeing summer now, probably kind of around July time maybe. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get some more news from the park soon. Like I say, it's going to be manufactured by Intamin and is one of their family launch coaster models. And if you go to Intamin's website, you can see some various examples of the family launch coaster models that they've already installed at parks around the world. So yeah, take a look at that and we'll see if we can find some better views from throughout the park to get some better shots. Let's go take a look. And just opposite Sheriff Showdown now then. Oh, it's exciting this. I cannot wait for this ride to open. Yeah, look at this. You've got that lift hill off to the left of the shot there. And right in front of us, it's kind of reminiscent of a little bit of kind of an S-bend, really, this. Yes, an interesting element that, like the little bunny hop just in the background here as well. And then just off to the right, we've got the station. And yeah, it's looking nice and huge, this one. Like the color scheme again, that red gold with the purple doors on there looks really nice. Yeah, like this little bit just up the top here as well. Assuming that's going to be perhaps maybe a clock tower or a steeple of some kind. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that actually becomes in the future. Yeah, still some work to do on the station, and as you can see on the whole as well, lots of landscaping and theming still to go into place. So maybe we're looking at a late summer opening for this one. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's, you know, kind of more early than late. But yeah, there does seem to still be quite a bit to do here. Going to get myself a ride on the Flying Dutchman to see if I can see anything else. And here's a much better shot of the station building for you then. This is obviously the end of the ride here as you come into the brake run and then round into the station itself. And yeah, as you can see, all the wooden cladding has gone on the front here. They're still in the middle of doing some painting here, the red paint going on just on this section. And then of course a much better look at this theming element that's going in at the top here. The building itself looks very much like a barn or perhaps a church of some kind. So yeah, potentially this will be a steeple of some kind, but yeah, not really sure. Looking forward to seeing what that will be when it does actually go into place, and also looking forward to seeing all the other various bits of theming elements that I'm sure will go onto this building as well at some point in the future. And one of the rides that certainly needs to do a better job of being themed into this area then is of course the park's Vekoma Boomerang Accelerator. Yeah, the newest coaster in the park. This opened back in 2011, used to be known as Ben 10 Ultimate Mission, until the Cartoon Network license expired in 2016. And this, along with the haunting, is definitely the rides that kind of need to be themed in a lot better. This one especially, because obviously it's a lot more visible. They have started it. They've got obviously the wooden paneling going into place here and some of these brown walls going in as well. But ultimately, yeah, they need to get rid of a lot of this silver and some of these antennas up here as well. Maybe give it a new color scheme, and of course a new name would be nice as well, because yeah, this does kind of stand out a little bit at the moment. Like I say, it's good to see that they have started it, and I'm sure they will continue throughout this season and the next. And I've just had my ride on the Flying Dutchman then that you can see in the background. And to be honest, it didn't really offer that many more decent views because the station building kind of covers up most of the coaster layout. However, from what I can see, it looks like it's going to be an absolutely fantastic ride. There's some real twisty elements in there, what looks like some good pops of airtime, and I suspect some decent forces as well, and hopefully a really well themed ride as well. Yeah, really looking forward to riding that a little bit later on in this season. Now though, I'm going to head towards the Vikings area, but first off, and get myself some lunch from just here. Drayton Manor's fish and chips. Sounds epic. And some great views of the Flying Dutchman then, with the new coaster's lift hill just to the right. Yeah, features a lift hill and a launch, that one. Like I say, cannot wait to ride it. But I've come opposite that now to Drayton's Fish and Chips, and I've grabbed myself a jumbo sausage, chips and a curry sauce, along with a Dr. Pepper Zero in their refillable cup. Yeah, quite flashy that. £10.95 for this one. It's not too bad at all. Really did fancy some chips today. The only thing I'm missing now is Harold the Duck. He usually comes to see me around this area, but he's nowhere to be seen. Anyway, I'm going to whack this down my neck and then head on over to Vikings. Oh, and I tell you what, that jumbo sausage and chips was absolutely marvellous as I head into the Vikings area. Yeah, this area opened back in 2022 and is now the second newest themed area here at Drayton Manor, what with the opening of Frontier Falls, obviously. And who's this? Oh, look at this. Who's this guy? Oh, there we are. There's a little photo op just here. Yeah, I've not seen you before. I'm not quite sure how long he's been here. Like I say, I've not been here since July, so he might not be all that new, but I've definitely not seen him before. Yeah, he looks great. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Yeah, all the rides in this area opened in 2022 along with the area itself, with the exception of Jormungandr just off to the left here. That is the Zamperla powered coaster. That opened all the way back in 1987 as the Buffalo coaster. And yeah, word is that that's not actually doing 2 laps anymore. It only does the 1 lap. I suspect that that's probably because when it was on 2 laps, you were waiting a week just to get on the ride. So yeah, that can only be a good thing that is now just doing the 1 lap. Good little coaster though, that. And of course, Thor here as well, right in front of us, the Zamperla Disco. Yeah, it's a shame that they didn't add theming onto the ends of this ride. I would have liked to have seen that. But yeah, it doesn't look as though they're actually going to add anything. Kind of a little bit late in the day for it now. It's a shame. It does make it look a little bit plain, to be honest, in what is otherwise a really well-themed area, this. Yeah, like all the planting around here, that's all starting to look pretty good. You've got the little water feature here to the right. Yeah, all looks really nice. And unfortunately, Loki, although that is actually testing, isn't open today. Yeah, they're making some improvements to this ride. And that's not going to be open at any point today, unfortunately, the Zamperla Nebulas. Great ride that, not the best throughput, but they offer little pops of airtime and some pretty decent views, which is always nice. Yeah, I really like Loki. They really do look the part, these. More enjoyable to watch off-ride than actually being on the ride itself, in my opinion. Yeah, as you can see on the signage there, engineers are working hard to improve your experience. Please enjoy other rides in the resort. Yeah, shame that. Do like to get on Loki. You've also got Slipnir here as well, the little pony track ride. And this is a good ride as well, but another one that kind of lacks any kind of decent theming, really. It's all kind of centered around this tree in the center here, the Tree of Life. It's a fun little ride though, if you've not done it before. The kids love it. And it looks as though they may have started adding a little bit of extra theming to this one as well, though. Yeah, look at this. He's new. It's a great fun ride, this. Yeah, this guy over the back here as well, he's new. Yeah, that's good to see. Yeah, it is a ride that was kind of lacking, like I say, any really kind of decent theming. And this just kind of adds to it. It's not much, but yeah, it just kind of makes it. Yeah, it's nice. Got Valhalla, the food and drink stand here as well. Currently all closed up for today. I'll tell you what, even though it's a Sunday, it definitely has been a quiet day here at the park today. Every ride has been essentially a walk-on, or 5 to 10 minutes. Thor is a little bit longer. This has just experienced a little bit of downtime. Great Zamperla Disco, this. Of course, got the hump in the middle. That looks to be probably a good 20 minutes. Still not too bad though. Yeah, I'll hop on here. Absolutely great ride, this. One of my favorite discos in the country, this one. Great views. Hey. And just had my ride on the Zamperla Disco Thor then, waited about 20 minutes for that one, and yeah, it's really, really good. Great views over the lake to the left and over the Vikings area in general. Yeah, you got this photo opportunity here as well with the big throne. That looks really, really cool. Yeah, makes for some great photos that. And you can share your voyage with the hashtag Discover Vikings and Drayton Manor. Yeah, I'm going to head over for a ride on Jormungandr now then. The queue not too bad for that one. Looks like probably around about the same for Thor, 15 to 20 minutes. Although with it being on just one lap now, it could be even less. And here we are just about to join the queue for Jormungandr then, but right opposite that we've got some great shots of the new coaster here as well. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, nice and close to the new station there. It looks great. Love the color scheme for it. And yeah, like I say, it is a lot bigger than I was expecting in person. Yeah, I'm assuming that this area here is where obviously the stairs will go up to the loading area. The air gates for the ride are actually on this side, so I suspect that this is where you will go up and the exit will be on the other side there. Yeah, looking great. Looking really good. Pull-through testing for this has already taken place, so they know what kind of clearance they have here, but there's clearly a lot of work still to be done, certainly here. I mean, all these branches and the trees that kind of wrap over the supports on the track here, yeah, all this is going to need to be kind of chopped back. Looks like some work has started already, but yeah, a lot more to do on this tree here. But yeah, some of the banking and the elements and the transitions on this thing really does look fantastic. It's going to be such a fun coaster when this opens in a few months' time. And yeah, we've got this building that's going in here. That's all starting to get nicely themed up. And yeah, you can really see kind of how well, not how close it gets to Jormungandr. It actually goes over. You go through the supports here. So there's a nice little near miss element there as well. It looks absolutely brilliant. Of course, you've got the building right across the back here as well. That's still got some work, obviously, to be done. And there's the tree in the middle here that's been well chopped back. But that's another thing. I hope they don't chop away too many of the trees and alter the landscaping too much, because the fact that they've actually managed to build this where it is great. I mean, you've got these trees here around that it can, can kind of add that extra bits of theming to the ride itself. And a lot of theming will obviously go into place for this ride as well. It is rumored to be a heavily themed ride, so really looking forward to all of those bits starting to go in. I think it's going to be a fantastic ride. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll be back down in a couple of months on the opening day to get on this one. You can see the lift hill just through here. Kicker wheel lift hill, not a chain one. But yeah, I think this is going to be brilliant. Really looking forward to this. And we're just heading out of the Vikings area now then, heading over to Thomasland. And yeah, just had my ride on Jormungandr, waited almost 30 minutes for that. It is still pretty slow, even with just the one lap. And I'll tell you what, it's such a classic ride. Like I say, opened back in 1987, but it is really showing its age now. It's very, very slow. In the wet weather, you sometimes are left wondering whether it's actually going to make a full lap. Yeah, it's probably about time to start looking at replacing that with something at some point. I think it's had its time now. It really does seem to struggle to get a lap. Anyway, let's head on over to Thomasland and see what rides we can get on over in this family themed area. And here we are in Thomasland then. Yeah, fantastic area this. Opened back in 2008, was actually expanded in 2015. Sits on about 3 acres here in the park and contains an absolutely wonderful variety of lots of different rides. Yeah, I love it in here. Yeah, where's the old Fat Controller? Oh, there you go, next show, 4 p.m. Not Fat Controller, was it Sir Toppenhat or something? Little show that takes place just across here. And yeah, here we go. One roller coaster in this area, of course, Troublesome Trucks. Little Gerstlauer family coaster just off to the right there. Ah, there he is, Sir Topham Hatt. I'm sorry, he'll always be the Fat Controller for me. I don't think you're allowed to call him that anymore. There he is with his umbrella. And of course you got Jeremy Jets right in front of us here as well. Sodor Airport. Sells your coffee, your sandwiches, all your different hot and cold snacks. Toby's Tram Express off to the right as well. Never actually go on that myself. I did go on it once before. It made me feel a little bit queasy. I'm not the biggest fan of those types of rides. The old barnstormers, yeah, not my favourite. Those. You know, James and the Red Balloon just off to the left as well. The Blue Mountain engines. Like I say, such a variety of rides here. Most of them manufactured by Zamperla. And then you've got the newest addition to the area, Thomas and Percy's Submarine Splash. Actually manufactured by Socket, this one. That's a great little water ride. And James is looking a little bit shocked here, isn't he? I wonder if there's something about Thomas and Percy's Submarine Splash he doesn't like. Yeah, maybe he's a little bit jealous that his name's not on the ride. Like I say, such a great variety of rides here in Thomasland. But what is great to see, look who's back. Terrence's driving school has finally been relocated from the bottom end of the park back here to Thomasland. Yeah, he looks great as well, sat in there, doesn't he? All this new flooring, really, really nice to see. Yeah, it's great to see this ride back. And like I say, not out the way anymore, all the way down the other end of the park, back in his rightful place here in Thomasland. That's really good to see. And the only ride that still remains here in Thomasland, back from when it was Robinson's Land, is Sodor's Classic Cars. Yeah, this was known as Veteran Cars back in the day. All the other rides here are new, apart from that one. Winston's Whistle Stop Tours going across the top here. All the music blaring out. Cranky's Drop Tower. Oh, he's looking just as cranky as well as he always is. And Harold's Helicopter Tours right in front of us as well. Then you got the Knapford signal box here, and there's Thomas. Hey! And this is the train that takes you down to Tidmouth Holt, down at the other end of the park. There's Annie and Clarabelle, and there's Winston going across the top. It's such a great area, this. You got the rocking Bulstrode there, little rocking tug ride. And Cranky, yeah, you don't want to be stood too close to that when that's operating, it's really noisy. And of course you've got the Thomasland shop here as well, some nice Thomas merchandise. And you've also got the museum, which is now actually located in the exit to Winston's Whistle Stop Tours. So we'll go take a look at that. That's something else that used to be down the other end of the park. So yeah, that bottom end of the park now, I suspect, is going to feel pretty empty, to be honest. We'll go take a look at that. We'll take the train down shortly. Sodor's Classic Cars. Love the pigs. And when you exit Winston's Whistle Stop Tours, then this is where you'll now find the Thomas and Friends exhibition, which opened back in 2009, but as I said, used to be relocated at the other end of the park. They brought it forward now into this building just above the shop, and it's where you'll find all the original models from the very early TV series of Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, the first 12 series, the ones narrated by Ringo Starr. This was kind of all of the original models for that. And if you're someone around my kind of age that used to watch this when they used to use like the proper sets and props like this is great to see. Obviously this is back when they used to use all this stuff before it was the animated show that it is now, and it's absolutely epic to see all this. Really, really good. And yeah, it really fits this building well. Like I say, this is just the exit to Winston's Whistle Stop Tours. You know, all the fake grass here, all the backgrounds. It looks great. And that's a classic shot right there with Thomas, Annie and Clarabelle pulling in to the platform there. It brings back a lot of memories of when I was a kid, this. Yeah, you've also got the TV screens in operation here showing those early series as well. Look at that. Yeah, that was created with all of this. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, there's George there. Remember George? There he is. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it stretches all the way down here. You've got all this as well. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, I'll tell you, I'm in my element here. Yeah, I remember this guy used to look over the bridge as well at the beginning of each of those TV shows. I'll tell you what, this is brilliant. You know what it reminds me of? It actually reminds me very much, or it pretty much is the Thomas version of the Sooty and Sweep that you can find over at Creeley. They've got like a Sooty and Sweep museum, very, very similar to that. But this, of course, being Thomas and Friends instead. Absolutely brilliant to see.
The orange and green, the best of friends that you'll ever see. Rusty and Dusty, orange and green, the best of friends that you'll ever see.
Nice and loud. Here we go. When I say to top 'em, you say hat to top 'em, to top 'em.
When I say to top 'em, you say hat to top 'em, to top 'em.
Did you call by any chance?
Yeah, we did, so we called for you. You are our BFF, our best friend forever.
And we wanted to call you right here so we could have fun at the end of the day.
Well, I do love having fun with you two.
Yes, sir, do you know what's loads of fun?
What?
A party game. Can we play a party game, please? Please.
See you dancing.
Thomas party game.
See you moving.
Thomas party game.
Shake your body now.
Thomas party game.
Here we go.
Thomas party game.
See you dancing.
Thomas party game.
See you moving.
And some highlights there then of the show that you can see here at Thomasland. Going to take the train now down to Timoth Holt, and we'll see just how kind of bare this area does look now down at the other end of the park. Hopefully it's an area that is going to get spruced up very soon, but let's go take a look. And it's basically a walk-on for troublesome trucks. Of course, this is the queue line for it here, and the station is literally just here. So yeah, that's pretty much a walk-on for that ride. Little Gerstlauer family coaster opened in 2008. Along with the Thomasland area. Yeah, we're on the train now, about to leave Knapford Station and make our way down to Timoth Holt. Hello. And after a short 5-minute train journey then on James, I think it is, although I'm not totally sure. He's the only red engine I know, but it doesn't really look like James. So yeah, not too sure on that one. Let me know in the comments. He'll perform his little turnaround on this turntable here, pick up the carriages again, and head back to Knapford. And in terms of where this actually drops you off, it's actually at the bottom end of the park in amongst the zoo area here. It's a 15-acre zoo with over 100 different species of animals to come and see, if that takes your interest, including these guys here. Yeah, they're nice, aren't they? Yeah, they're great. Got some tapirs and some capybaras over here as well, all munching their food on the ground. I think they've all just been fed actually. And this pathway continues down that way, bends to the left, and there's some more animals to see down in that area as well. Yeah, it's not too bad if you want to come down and see the zoo itself. It's not an area that I do very often when I come down to Drayton Manor, maybe once a season. So I thought I'd just come down and see it today. Now through here is where you used to get to the Thomas and Friends exhibition. This is where it used to be, along with Terence's driving school actually. As a matter of fact, there used to be a model of Terence just here. You can kind of see where it was placed here. That's long gone. I'm assuming that's down at the other end of Thomasland somewhere. I'm not sure if it was the same one that's actually the centerpiece of the new driving school in Thomasland. That looked a little different. Or it might just be my memory failing me, I'm not too sure. But of course you can also take the train back from this area as well, back down to Knapford. And you've got Mrs. Kindley's tea rooms just off to the left there as well, a little cafe. And of course you've got the dino trail here as well, and a kiddies play area, which is nice. But it's an area that, like I say, I don't do too often. It is one of the kind of more tired areas of the park, and certainly now that Terence's driving school and the exhibition has gone, it leaves it even more empty than it was. So I'd like to see something done around here at some point in the future. And as mentioned, you do have that kids play area here. This is Spencer's Outdoor Adventure Play, and a nice xylophone there as well, if that takes your fancy, that you can play on. And you've also got the dino trail here as well. And yeah, although it's very small, some of the models here are pretty impressive, and it does offer some good photo opportunities as well. In terms of the area as a whole though, yeah, like I say, it is looking pretty tired. To be perfectly honest, if you enter the zoo from the pizza and pasta end, it actually starts off quite well. There's been some refurbishments around that area, and it does look really nice, but kind of the further you go into the area, kind of the more tired it gets really. And unfortunately, if you take the train down to Tidmouth Hold, it actually drops you as far into that area as possible, and that's kind of the area that really needs the most work. However, it does kind of offer you a little bit of a respite from the action of the main park, so if you do just want to come down and experience something a little bit quieter, and of course there's some actual animals here to see in the dino trail as well, then of course it is definitely the place to come. And like I say, some good photo opportunities with these models. Good to see them still looking in tip-top condition. And it just wouldn't be a visit to Drayton Manor without looking at the famous Dik-Diks. Unfortunately, they're nowhere to be seen. They're either not here at the moment, or they're currently locked away in their little house over there. Yeah, it's a shame. Always like seeing the Dik-Diks. And as we come out of the zoo then, and the much disappointment of not seeing my favourite Dik-Diks, we've only got 10 minutes left of the day, so I'm going to be putting in a few more shots of around the park, see if I can get some rides in on Maelstrom just to end the day, and then I'll be wrapping up today's vlog. And with those final rides on both Accelerator and Maelstrom then, that is where I'm going to be wrapping up the vlog from the Drayton Manor Resort. And it's been absolutely brilliant to get back for the first time in 2024, getting back on some of my favourite rides, including this beast behind me. It is, in my opinion, the best ride in the park. Absolutely fantastic gyro swing that. Great to see the wave as well, the new theming pieces going in, the entrance portal, the new billboard. Yeah, it's looking great. Yes, there's some tidying up still to do. The track and the supports do need a bit of a clean, and there's some work finishing off to do around the exit as well, but this is nothing that's going to delay the opening of the ride. We haven't seen it testing today, but it has been testing over the past couple of weeks, and I fully suspect that the park will be announcing the opening date for that ride very, very soon. Of course, Frontier Falls, been great to see that. It's such a brilliantly well done retheme of that area. The Falls Theatre replacing Thomas 4D's bubbling boilers with the new Looney Tunes, Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner is great to see, and the area itself is absolutely brilliant. Photo opportunities galore. Love the new jail, and it wraps right around as well, down to Pizza and Pasta and all the way up to what used to be the second entrance into the park. Once the construction walls come down for that area and that new coaster is open, it's going to be an absolutely brilliant area. I would like to see some themed flooring going in. It does look a little bit drab in certain places, but hopefully that's something that the park can look at maybe over the next season or two if that does indeed happen. In terms of the new coaster itself, though, it looks brilliant. The transitions, the elements, the new buildings that are going into place there, currently getting themed up. It's going to be a great experience once that finally opens. I'm going to say kind of probably late summer, looking at the state of some of the things in there at the moment. Hopefully not, hopefully sooner than that. But whenever it opens, I'll be here day one to get my first rides on it. Yeah, it's been an absolutely great day around the park today. Great to see the zoo again as well. Although in terms of what does need looking at, yeah, that area certainly does need a huge refurb, really. Certainly down where the train drops you off, it is looking very, very tired in that area. And Jormungandr as well. 1987 that coaster opened, and I think that needs a little bit more than just a retheme from Buffalo Coaster to Jormungandr. It needs a bit more of a deep dive in that one, I think, because yeah, that is starting to struggle in certain areas of the layout on a nice day like today. On a wet weather day, yeah, it's really not the best, that one. However, still great to get on it. Vikings is still looking absolutely fantastic. The theming in here is looking really fresh. They've done a great job on some of the refurbs for 2024, and like I say, absolutely brilliant to get back here at the park and enjoy it all. We'll be back, no doubt, in probably the next couple of weeks to get first rides on the Wave and the new coaster from Intamin. But until then, from Drayton Manor Resort, I want to thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy riding, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.